All right, hello, everybody. How's it going? Hello,
Hello there.
hello there, General Kenobi,
General Kenobi,
protagonist Cal Kestis.
protagonist Cal Kestis, who had a really cool trailer at the Game Awards.
Holy shit, yo! Like I saw someone else's reaction. I didn't, for some reason, I didn't expect like individual's person's reactions to like Cal Kestis or just like Jedi Survivor to be so strong. That could just be fangirling over there, but
Seriously, you mean very passionate fans?
yeah, very very passionate fans. I'm glad that you know that game left a stronger mark on a lot of people. I definitely really liked it just to be kind of like Souls like, and it kind of makes me want to go back into like the original game and play it over again. It was a lot of fun.
Wait, and this one looks even better.
Yeah, like bruh, like when you I guess there's not really much to really delve onto that one because it is just kind of like really quick like cinematic stuff and a little bit of gameplay there. But when you got
There
to
was
see
a decent amount of gameplay put in there.
when you saw kind of like the overall look that you're gonna, the camera perspective you're gonna have, and how it's kind of like this wide angle shot, like there's a bunch of environments and you focus in on like Cal real quick. I was like, whoa, that's a lot. It's a lot of like information I'm just trying to like take in. Where I feel like there was a lot of environmental stuff in the other game, but it felt also like very condensed, like very concentrated. Like there wasn't really a lot going on in the background, but I feel like what I saw specifically just took my eyes in different directions. It was crazy. Oh, but
It's looking like it might be open world.
that'd be crazy. I can't even imagine. Well, actually, I do kind of imagine it. But first and foremost, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin,
Mark.
and you're watching or listening to episode 438 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. So we were just talking real quick already about Jedi Survivor, one of the games that was revealed at the Game Awards. I don't think we'll probably not talk too much about the Game Awards per se, just because Phil will be available on a different date. I know that we're also making plans to do our own Game Awards, the DangIT Game Awards. Name is pending. Next Friday, or this upcoming Friday, the following Friday.
DGA.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
DGA.
yeah. It'll be interesting. We're trying to get a couple people like from last year as well. So me, myself, Mark, Phil, and Sephi. I think that's the plan for now. And then we'll just kind of like follow it with kind of the same rule set that we had previously, where we talk about games that don't necessarily have to be released like within this year. It's just whatever games we all personally did, and there'll be like just individual summits as to like what is our respective game of the year. So I think it'll be very interesting. I'm gonna tell you though, if you're expecting a winner from Xenoblade Chronicles over there, it might be there. It might not be. Not from me though.
Maybe from Phil.
Made from Phil. Yeah, it's real rough. I wish I was caught up on games like of this past year, but I only got like a real few like under my belt. The rest are just like from other years prior. But should be fun. Look forward to it for sure. I'll let you all know like within the next couple streams as well that's going to be the case. Just giving you guys reminders. But I wanted to. Well, actually, I don't even know where we want to go with the conversation. We were just. Oh, okay. Nah, he didn't like the idea of that, so he left. All right, let me see. Where was my I had a Google Doc as usual, prepped and ready. Also, something that happened this past week. It was actually on Wednesday, I believe, either that or Thursday. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got its wave 3 of its DLC. Phil would definitely be the expert to kind of like highlight everything as far as like the origins of those courses, his top favorites, some things to note about those particular courses. We had a stream with him last night over on his Twitch stream and slash channel, aka Motion Man 64 on Twitch. It was myself, Sephi, Brian for a little bit, and of course Phil. We went through all the different tracks, and then we just kind of opened it up to like all the different courses, and we also definitely took advantage of adjusting the frequency of the items. I think that's the greatest add-on to it, to be honest. I love the courses, but the fact that you can add different like items just to kind of like change the meta of your race is great. It's fantastic. If I had to recommend anything, definitely just try Blue Shell. Just try Blue Shell only, just for the one time. You don't really know what you're gonna expect, but it's a chaotic mess, and you get a lot of fun out of it. I'm planning to get some of the highlights that I personally recorded and just post that over on TikTok. But yeah, Phil also had some stuff. The VOD should be available too, so be sure to check that out. MotionMan64 on Twitch. I don't think he's got his settings changed so that it archives for a longer period of time. It's kind of like it'll just be there for a little bit, or he is an affiliate, so I don't know if that like helps him like prolong the archiving moments. I can check it right. I'll check it out like right now. For now, just kind of bear with the fact that you have another iteration of me on this side. If you guys are actually watching it, or otherwise if you're listening, yeah, no, Discord's kind of funny when you want to like set that specifically. I don't know if Discord has any other like extension where it allows for like different allocations of like video sources to be applied to other individual like sources. Otherwise, like the go around is just simply to just take your screen capture, your window capture, and just duplicate that multiple times and crop like specific areas, and then you can get this effect.
What the fuck did I miss? Because my wife called me.
Good question. I was talking about how you didn't like my idea of talking about the game awards later on, and you hopped off call. I was like, oh, I guess. All right.
No. I said, I'll be right back.
No, I'm joking. But
my wife's called.
I was talking about the Mario Kart DLC. I wasn't gonna talk about in gross detail. We'll have that when Phil hops on. But I just did a recommendation for at least one session. Put Blue Shells on only. Just
Poor
try.
Phil.
And I just told everyone that, hey, go check out MotionMan64 on Twitch by the by, just to see the highlights on that. It should still be available, and it's going on like, I think he still has that stuff archived. But he doesn't like archive like I do. So it's just kind of like whenever the VOD like goes down later on. Let me see.
The important parts have been clipped.
Yeah, the important things have been clipped, but yeah, okay, yeah, it's still up, so be sure to check that out. I definitely did some recordings on my end, especially for those items on. I knew it was going to be a chaos that I would never ever want to forget. So I'll post that later on TikTok for sure. Speaking of which, crazy news. In over the course of like 3 weeks since the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and then therefore the content on TikTok for that, I'm getting close to 1,000 followers over there, which means I'll have access to live streaming over there as well, because that's kind of the threshold over there.
I didn't even realize TikTok had live streams.
Yeah, they got live streams over there. I still don't really know exactly how I want to go about it. People have different like ways of like live or different representations for live streaming. Some just do like, just a portrait mode streaming type of bit. Other people just simply, just start recording and they just kind of talk. All is fine. I'm just trying to figure out like what I want to do. Yeah, we're amounting quite a lot over there, so super cool. What I've been posting over there is just pretty much well, obviously Pokemon, but I'm just talking about like some things for people to keep in mind of when it comes to later halves of the game where you're just trying to build mons or get money, mainly the money thing. I've been talking about how when you want to do the raid battles, what's really cool is the fact that it's all based on the Terra type of that Pokemon, which is at random, and it completely kind of changes exactly how you want to approach like the fight as far as like who you're going to bring in, because it's no longer like rock paper scissors per se. It's like it's rock paper scissors, but underneath that, like, there's a second player as far as like a different moveset that can work against you as well. So you have to like meet it with your own. So I've been trying to build a team for all different like aspects to like anticipate, but I've been low on funds, so I've been figuring out methods and reporting back on those, and getting some different feedback for sure. But now I'm just kind of getting into this cool loop of just like, what Pokemon's good for just like this particular money farm per se, followed by any type of highlights I want to bring up, like the Paradox Pokemon as well. I did post one about the future Pokemon, and since you traded me the prehistoric past ones, I think I already did my recording for that one too, so I'll post that later. So it's super cool to see those ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes me wonder though, like, I don't think this will be like a one-off thing. I think they'll mess around with like future and past Pokemon later. I think to be fair, I think they have
even what they really are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the leakers have been hinting at. That the DLC is going to really get into what are they? How did they come about?
Mm-hmm. It'd be so cool, because I'm not sure if you ever revisited that room with the whole machine and everything like that.
Oh, I did.
Oh yeah, okay. Because I went back there. There was nothing. I couldn't interact with it. There was no text or anything. So I was wondering, like, there's got to be more to this, right? Because I could just revisit this spot.
That's what I told you. I told you like that just being able to go back to this room tells me we're not done here.
Yeah, like, can you? Well, I guess it's separate from like that closed off area on the top right hand of the map. But if you are able to like
DLC area,
if you could like jump into different like points of time within the same region, that would be kind of sick.
But I mean, we also know that Paldea is connected to Kalos.
Do we though?
Yeah.
Like how connected? You gotta tell me, because I actually really don't know.
Are you aware of where Spain and France, like their actual like border?
No,
line?
Hold on. I'm not gonna say cap or anything. I just think that might be a little bit of a stretch.
Look it up.
Like no, like geographically yes, but like as far as the fictional like game regions here, like, then like, can you explain like Kanto and Johto being like right next to each other?
Both Japan.
Okay.
They're both based on different They're both based on different regions of Japan.
All right, fair, I guess. But are those regions like connected to each other? I actually don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I'd have to look that one up.
Okay, I guess that's fair enough on that front. But it's like, I don't know. Like they could do that, and I'm not gonna say that like this is absolutely false. This is like, this can't be. It's just, I don't know. That's just so high of like a confident answer that I don't know, especially since we don't have any other sources. Because people get
well, the simple thing we get if you just Google it of Paldea and Kalos is mainly because France and Spain share borders, making Kalos and Paldea the first two regions that have been connected since the first two generations of Pokemon.
Wait, where does that source from? Because like that's already confirming it.
That was just from Game Rant, but then again, that's not an official source. But let me see.
Yeah, so that's just that's them speculating it.
Kanto is based on the real life Kanto region, which includes Tokyo. In contrast, Johto is based on Japan's Kansai region, which contains cities like Kyoto and Osaka.
Mm-hmm. Well, I of course we know that both like Kalos and Paldea are inspired by the respective countries there. And if they do connect, that's really cool. But yeah, I just don't really know about that. Not until like I actually see it. Like, if it was like a Kanto the Johto region like connect, where you can actually like travel off like at a different point in Kalos and just explore the world there, that'd be really cool. Actually, that'd be like cooler than cool. That's like going back to Soulful Silver days, which were like,
which did connect. Didn't they not? Didn't they connect regions?
They did connect regions. It started from like New Bark, and then connects all the way to like the Pokemon League, all the way over in Kanto. Yeah, I'd have to look at the maps again for Kalos to just kind of like see like where it could like connect. Yeah, otherwise I couldn't really say, because someone was trying to post a picture of like how it connects that, like that invisible like space in Paldea connects to oh god, what's Gen 5's region?
Gen 5
Unova.
Unova. They're trying to connect what region to it?
Yeah, they Paldea to Unova, and I saw it, but I was like,
there's an entire ocean across from it.
Right, I was gonna get to that. I was gonna say like you're connecting it to a point where there's a bunch of forests like right there, and it gets cut off. So I don't know. So that's why I'm kind of like skeptic until I see like an actual like confirmation. Because people be crafting some stuff, and
I found this right here.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea of where they are.
All right, Mark is sending me something here. Is that nudes? Sorry, no, that's not what he said.
Don't tell.
Don't tell. Don't tell my secrets. So Kantai and Kansai, though. So those are the respective Kanto and like Johto, right?
Yep.
Right. So they could connect Paldea and Kalos. It wouldn't be the exact same as like Kanto to Johto, because they're inspired, but then like the game devs actually had to put them together in a way that like made sense in the game.
They'd have bridged them together, which wouldn't be hard because it's not that far of a space in between them.
Well, it's also just kind of it's also a thing of just connecting it like region by region, because otherwise it wouldn't be as clean as like putting Kanto and Kansai together by like puzzle pieces that just had like matching parts to it.
All right.
But you know, I get what you're saying though. Like I could see Paldea and like Kalos like connecting, just because like the proximity of those two countries like actually together. So it's not far-fetched, especially now I see Kanto and Kansai right there.
Yeah, because they connected those two regions, and geographically they were also really close.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I believe Sinnoh is based on Hokkaido, which is in northern Japan, and I forget where Hoenn is based off of.
Lots of water. You could say it's also Japan that way too.
And also, what they could make a really cool. Someone said this. I was like, "Ooh, that would be a really cool connection." Is if the crater was made by the ultimate weapon.
Remind me what the ultimate weapon was. Shadow.
The death weapon from the death weapon from X and Y.
Look, half the moon's gone. No, I see what you mean. So wait, yeah, I remember that weapon, but did it only make like a big crater in Kalos itself? No, nowhere else. It was the explosion like of that, right? All right, Mark's sending me more nudes. Hold on. Okay, so he's sending me the connection between Paldea and Kalos. I'm gonna be real honest. I don't remember too much about Kalos, but
Spain and France.
I mean, it's like I'm looking at it, I'm kind of like chuckling because it's like that, just because of how the placement of like when you actually are at that point in Paldea where you're looking like at those cliff sides, they're way too steep. Your character, your ride Pokemon will not climb that. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, that's way too high up there.
Well, of course, that's because it's overlapped on top of each other.
Yeah. And I also have to think about the elevation too, because there is the highest peak in Paldea as well. And I tried to look out over to the uncrossable border over there, and I was like, I think I see some trees over there, but it's kind of hard from this distance to really see it. Also, shout outs because you can actually see everything in Paldea from that peak.
I will say though, if you put them together, the pieces do fit.
Are you telling me you're trying to line the pieces up?
No, I'm saying if you like especially what I just said to you, it's like, yeah, they're actually yeah, that fits.
Dare I say, are you trying to reconnect?
Kingdom Hearts Reconnect.
It's full. I'm glad Phil's not here. He'd probably slap us both.
It especially seems like since they're both based on two regions that literally share a border, it just seems like it'd be a waste to not connect them.
Yeah, that'd be the craziest expansion that they would ever like put into like some kind of DLC. And this,
and you know if Kalos is there, you know what else is going to be there?
Mega Evolutions. Was I on the dot for that one? I was just actually just like like shooting off the cuff.
I mean, hey, what's been probably the most beloved feature they've added in Pokemon from the recent gimmicks? It was Megas.
The Megas. We do have Charizard, so I mean, that'd be sick. That would be really sick.
You don't even have to add new ones necessarily. As long as you just add some Megas back, people would be happy.
Yeah, you would also have to like kind of expand the Pokedex for those that have Mega Evolutions that aren't there. Like, I guess say like the Pidgey line, Weedle's line. I'm thinking some other ones. But I'm drawing blanks here and there. Aside from like the starter Pokemon, which if that'd be also pretty sweet if you could just like catch those as well.
Hoenn is based on the island of Kyushu. I didn't realize Hoenn was an island.
I was like, I think the pieces were there.
Honestly, I don't. It's been a while since I played. So like, I played Gen 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like thinking back. I was like, was it? Like back to the map. Oh yeah, it was an island, wasn't it?
Hoenn had a lot of water. So
I feel like an idiot because I'm looking back at the map and all the memories coming back. I was like, oh yeah, it was an island.
I mean, I guess to be fair, like based on how the map is, there's like a huge landmass in like the top left, and then like everything like bottom right was all just water.
Yeah, it's like how Japan is. Japan's an archipelago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Okay, now that I see like the overlapping images and like the actual like geographical map on it, okay, that makes sense. I didn't realize like granted, I haven't really been thinking about Kalos for a hot minute.
Pretty spot on.
Kalos' region is like really not just because of the like cultural influence, but because of like how it's drawn up. It really does look like that.
So it's pretty spot on.
I just remember I just went through like as far as like the exploration in Kalos, there was like it was kind of a big square that was going around.
True.
No, actually,
there's also more linear.
I guess so. I have to give some shout outs though to Kalos because I think it's one of the few games that you'll be exploring a lot throughout the game, and your Pokemon level up with you. So by the time you reach the champion, everybody's at level 80.
Well, yeah, isn't that because Kalos introduced? They brought the handheld games to 3D. They introduced Mega Evolutions. They introduced XP Share.
Right. So they really just kind of like extended that. But you know, if you've been playing through Scarlet and Violet, the higher end is like level 65 or so. So like once you hit that mark, you're pretty much good to kind of clear any challenge. Possibly except for like your legendary encounter. Which
the only thing that I think they could have done better is the champion in Scarlet, because she was very underwhelming.
You mean Gita?
Yeah, she didn't pack much of a punch.
I think her selection was really interesting. Go-Goat?
That's what I was saying. I was like,
I like Go-Goat, but like Champions
I like
Pokemon?
Go-Goat too. I like Go-Goat too, but it was like, this is a Champions team?
It did open up the discourse as to like how the champion like fights are all set up. Obviously there are better champions than others, and there's reasons for it, mainly just on difficulty setting.
Yeah, like Cynthia being god tier.
Mm-hmm. Cynthia had, I think it was based on the presentation. Like when you walk up and you fight Cynthia for the first time, she like throws out Spiritomb. At that time, no one has ever seen Spiritomb, and there was no weakness to it. So it was like, what the? We know about
It's a ghost.
Gastrodon.
It's a
Milotic,
ghost type, isn't it? Wouldn't that be weak to get dark?
it's Ghost and Dark. At the time,
Shit.
at that time, there were no weaknesses that can outmatch it because Ghost is weak to Ghost, but Dark covers that.
You just have to overpower it.
Dark is weak against like fighting. But I think and Bug. But I think Ghost doesn't get hit by fighting and is resistant towards Bug, I think.
Why is I've always wondered why is Dark weak against Bug?
Good
Why?
question. You gotta ask me why Psychic is also weak against Bug too.
Maybe because people get scared by bugs.
You can't levitate that shit.
No, I mean think about it. Like, cause the whole thing about Psychic is like telekinetic power is also the reason it's stronger than physical strength is because the whole brain over brawn thing.
Yeah.
So I guess I would assume the reason Bug is strong at Psychic would be because
I don't know. I think they wanted to give bug typing like a really good buff back in the day. So
they wanted to give it something.
maybe to counteract like the strength of psychic types back in like previous gen was to like have bug despite it being very weak at the time to like overcome that. I don't know. It's very interesting. But at this time, kind of going full circle, Spiritomb isn't like as good these days because fairy typing is a thing. That's currently the only thing that Spiritomb's weak against. So, but other than that, Cynthia had like Milotic, which if you played Gen 3, you already know how bad Milotic can be. If you're not careful and don't have the right typing attached to you, mainly what was it? Electric type. Lucario, there was a lot of earthquakes that she brought in to that fight. That Lucario had extreme speed, had aura sphere, had earthquake.
It's an equipped Lucario.
Yeah, and if your Lucario doesn't outspeed it, you're doomed. That's pretty much it. And of course Garchomp, the pseudo legendary. Which makes me wonder like we with Gita, she doesn't have a pseudo legendary on her team, or at least I don't think so. If anything, they were underwhelming. But yeah, no.
But I mean, like, even Leon was more of a threat than them.
Yeah,
And Leon wasn't the hardest, but he also wasn't the easiest. He was like he was a decent challenge.
yeah. I if anything, I kind of wish that Gita just had Bax Caliber. But I will say King Gambit was that was kind of scary to see when she brought it up. Even at the second to last when it said that like all the strength got transferred over, and I was like, oh my god, is it about to sweep? And I was like one shotted, and I was like, oh no, that's fine.
I mean, I have my my starter, which was my Fuecoco, which he fully evolved, just
Yeah,
absolutely obliterated that.
yeah, feels bad. Bisharp had a moment, but just one.
It's cool evolution though.
It is cool. I like that. Glamora is the weirdest one though, because aside from not knowing what the typing is, because I've never seen this Pokemon like in my life. Like I see like it like on the map, but I can never encounter it.
Caves are everywhere.
Got you. It was only until like Great Crater that I actually got to see them because that was in a cave.
They're everywhere in the Great Crater.
So I was able to catch up on that. That's why I found out.
Like you'll find the first evolution in caves. I don't know about the Glamora itself though.
Yeah. Also, like it Glamora is like poison ground type, or sorry, poison rock type, and that's not really.
His ability is annoying.
Oh yeah, the toxic. You know what? They should have had Glamora up front. That's what they should have done, and they should have had King Gambit in the back.
People went and like changed up her team and the order of the team to make her actually a challenging like champion.
Yeah.
They put Glamora first, and I know they swapped out a few Pokemon here and there.
Yeah. I also have to say, this is a personal take, but I think Nomona is kind of underwhelming too because she retains her same team against you. Because I was fully expecting her to like swap out her team for an actual like champion lineup, but she kept Lycanroc. She kept I think the Dunsparce was an interesting one. The Dunsparce.
Name never gets old.
Yeah. Apparently, the third segment one is pretty hard to find or to evolve.
But that's because the third one. That's because the one where it's 3 segments. Yeah, it's a rare evolution.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to. Aside from the starter, there's some other things that Nimona had too, but I can't really. Oh, I forget. Did she? I think she kept Palmot. So there's one. But yeah, she pretty much retains like the entire team she's been building, which I guess is fair because it's like she always apparently has been holding back with you up until this moment, so she kind of grows with you naturally as a trainer. And so she wants to meet you with the same mons, but she doesn't change her whole lineup even in the Ace tournament stuff. But yeah, both. I think honestly, I kind of attribute like the ease of that just due to you having a lot of like things to like pick up on as far as your own team lineup. I felt like I had like a really solid team, even if they're all just region exclusive. I know I could have like done what I did in Sword and Shield and just went with like Excadrill or something of that like level of utility.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Brian. Hey Brian, how's it going? I love that Tails emote.
But did you think they were like? Would you call them the worst rival? Would you call her the worst rival?
The
Or do you think of a
worst rival.
It's worse than
Oh
her?
no. Okay, so if we're talking about Nimona, she's definitely one of the easiest ones because I just simply had everything to counteract what she had. But I also think that like this generation like went pretty dummy strong with their particular Pokemon. Like Baxcalibur was one of those I had, and I was like, damn, dude, we're solid. I know that Gary had some like strong points here and there. I don't remember much about like Silver, aka your question mark rival, and like Gold and Silver. May was also kind of underwhelming too, but that wasn't like that wasn't like her like that wasn't her area per se.
But
Barry had Snorlax, and that was annoying.
then there's N.
I like N just as like a character, not per se a rival. He does carry the other legendary, which is kind of sick.
He is the rival character in that game.
Yeah. So I think N's cool. I had to revisit like what his team looked like, but it was alright.
Then wasn't it Serena after that?
Yeah,
Serena played as if you did a male character.
Yeah, Serena or Xavier. Yeah, they were just okay. Honestly, I think they were kind of like the weakest, like as far as like their motivations and whatnot. Like I think even like before that, like N's a rival, but what was it? Sharam? Whoever it was who becomes the normal gym leader in Black and White 2. I think his motivations were pretty strong there too. And for me,
some of the games do include more than one rival per se.
Yeah.
Like Sword and Shield gave you a fuck ton of them.
Yeah, it's true. You know, I think maybe Pokemon Company or Game Freak also understands the fact that you're just way too strong. You have a lot of plot armor, and you are just the protagonist anyway to level up your mons. But I don't know. Cynthia was just designed and built different. Like it was so weird. Because
what about how?
How? Oh, I don't remember much about how. I remember.
Or how?
Listen, all I remember is chicken feet, and also like I can hear you. I recognize the sound of those footsteps. I was like, yo, what?
And then was one of the most controversial.
How's in a wrong like profession? He should have been like some kind of like tracker, some kind of investigator. He should have been in Platinum, where like Looker. He should have been with Looker.
Don't forget one of the most divisive, Hop.
I feel so bad for Hop because Hop is probably like the best rival, honestly. Because Hop is like one of the best rivals, like seriously. Because
think so?
Yeah, and the reason I say that personally, this is just totally a personal take, is because
people either love him or hate him, one or the other.
Yeah, I mean he's very enthusiastic. The thing about Hop though is that there's a lot more character. I think that's what Pokemon Company and Game Freak understand. This is that you're going to beat all their asses. It's it's guaranteed. What it's important though to kind of make them memorable in our minds is their motivations, like them not just being like, I'm gonna be better than you, and then what, you beat me, and that's the character archetype. With Hop, they expanded on his character a lot so that he's always been the shadow of Leon, so he has something to prove out there. They have him get his ass served by the other guy with the cool ass theme.
He gets his ass kicked the entire game.
Yes, by you and by that other trainer too.
They're said by like almost everybody.
But you know what makes him really, what made it really profound too, was not because of the fact that he knew that like he had to strive to be his own like type of champion instead of trying to like catch up to Leon. It was also because he changed his team up. He changed his team up like a couple times like throughout your encounters, and then he sticks to one full team, and I gotta respect him for that. Aside from like Zacian like whooping my ass a couple times once, before he got that, he was changing up his team. And I think he's like one of the few rivals, if not the only rival, who's ever done that with you. Where it's like, all right, I'm trying a couple things here. Let's just see if it works. And you actually see different mons that he's pulling out. And then there's times where you don't even see them anymore. It's like, okay, well, I tried that. Let's try this instead. So he was actually like, they designed him so that he would actually be trying different tactics against you. And oftentimes I'll see something different. I'm like, oh, okay. I think I got something for that. But otherwise, it's like, oh, well, it's not going to be like a simple rinse and repeat. Like, oh, it's going to be Pidgeot Gary. He shows up first. And then you're going to show up your starter every single time I whip out my starter type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like Nimona a lot. Mainly because she has like that archetype that I don't think a lot of like, well, I guess a lot of our characters really do. But I don't know. There's something a little bit more like... It's both weird but also charming at the same time, because of how obsessive she is. Like she saw something in you as a character, as a player, and she's like, oh no, you got potential, hold on, I'm gonna invest all my time and effort just to visit you at almost every gym and see how you're doing. She even says like, sorry, it's totally like, this is such a coincidence. In fact, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm not gonna battle you. I'm just here to just check up on you and say hello. And I'm just going to back out for a little bit.
I really want to battle you.
Yeah, no, and it makes it sad at the end because like she will just be an ace trainer, like, or sorry, she'll just be another like trainer you'll fight in the ace tournament, and like that's her full extent. And she'll always be like, ah, shucks, you got me again, but next time. But I think she'll be showing up later here and there, but until DLC like pops up, she's not really doing much of anything else after that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been like, of course, they've been hinting at stuff for the DLC. Like, of course, there's the stuff from the Scarlet book.
Oh yes. So I need I gotta read up more on that.
Scientist,
yeah,
the first scientist that went into the crater, which I think his name was Heath.
Oh yes, Heath. I'm curious about that. A lot
of people are expecting him to be the end game villain.
Interesting. I don't know. That
I could see it.
I don't know. The android battle at the very end was like pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yours was an android battle.
Well, I mean, they're both, right?
I mean, if you consider both scientists, then yes. But I'm thinking more along the lines of the Pokemon themselves.
Oh yeah, right.
Although I did like the storytelling a lot in this game, and honestly,
me too.
The story that was told the best in this game was probably Arven's.
I know, yeah, no, I agree. Like, I kind of understand Penny to a certain extent, but it kind of goes into a realm of like fantasy where it's like you guys really like push the envelope here. And Nimona's just kind of like a well, no one could really like match her. Kind of similar to Leon actually, where it's like Actually, I don't know if they talk about it in the game per se anymore, but in the anime, it was about him being afraid to lose because he never did. Until Ash whooped his ass. But no. Aside from that, yeah, there wasn't really much to Nemona's character after the fact. Or at least I guess I would have preferred that Nemona just be a little bit more open about like how she feels about like battling and losing and other aspects of like how she goes about her day, because otherwise she really just focuses on all that. But yeah, Arvin was definitely a very complicated character, and I really like that for that, because I guess one, it can be like relatable to a lot of folks too, but also the fact is that they brought the dog in, and I was like, how dare you? I have to fight and everything now. I gotta make sure this dog's safe.
I know. I was like, please let this dog be okay. If something happens to this dog, I will cry.
Yeah, no. I wasn't expecting that there would be more to like Arvin's story than just that, because of course when we find out that the dog is ill and we do everything we can to help it, of course we're invested in that front. But then, you know, the professor calls and he's like, oh, wait a minute, now you're contacting us now? And then it turns out and you find this out later just through like text and whatnot, whether it be outdoors in the Great Crater or inside, about like the development there. I think what I liked about it was the fact that it wasn't just like thrown out there per se, as far as like, you know, all the things that happened to the professor. It was kind of like sprinkled in there, and you kind of connect the dots before like the confirmation happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what I really liked about it. It kept you guessing as to like what's going on, because there's something weird about the professor, and you're like, no, they're gone.
That and bonding with your legendary worked a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah, that was actually a really good choice, because they never did that before, right? Like not even in the recent games. Well,
nah.
Except for like maybe Sword and Shield's like post game stuff. But that, well, never mind actually, because you just fight it, and then the other one goes off, and it's Hop who does it. Hop's the one who befriends like the legendary, and depending on which game you fight, might whoop your ass pretty easily. I got the worst end of that.
I didn't struggle too much against Hop.
Were you all? What version were you playing?
Shield.
Huh. All right. I guess I'm the one with the problem.
At least I don't remember myself struggling that much. Maybe I did, and I just don't remember. I just don't remember it being that hard.
Yeah, no. When Zacian like preps and procs himself, I'm like, oh no! And that dog sweeped my team. I was like, bruh, you can't get away with this.
Pain.
But yeah, no, Arvin's story was like really great. Yeah, I really love how all things kind of turned out with at the very end. Also befriending your legendary, I think early on was kind of like, it's all right. You know, it just kind of sticks with you for a little bit. And it's only through Arvin's story that it grows. But the Great Crater like arc, if you will, is where we actually get to see a little bit more about
the Great Crater arc.
The Great Crater arc, bruh. Listen, Demon Slayer news popped in this morning, and I was like, you're nice.
What about the Swordsmith Village?
Yes. It's funny about that, real quick, that I feel like Demon Slayer, out of all the like shonen and shows I've seen, is one that kind of highlights and celebrates like different arcs, even confirms them, because One Piece has a lot of arcs, but I don't think they outright like line out, like tell you like it's this arc here and there that's happening right now. Whereas Demon Slayer is like, oh well, there are Pacific arcs, and we're going to release them per like based on like where it ends and where it begins at later points. It's not like the usual like shonen where it's like it's just back to back to back to back until it's over. Or the huge time skip like Naruto.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, no. What's interesting about Scarlet and Violet, just real quick as a last little thing, but Miraidon, Koraidon, there's two of them in your game. one that's your companion and one that's actually like the counterpart, the other one that was captured. And that's
which made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. So you have Miraidon register in your Pokedex, and that's the one that is ridden with you. But you can also catch another one, preferably with a Master Ball. Now that I think about that.
Oh yeah, that's what I use mine for.
I was thinking I approached it like a typical legendary fight where I just use like Ultra Balls and whatnot, and I was like, wait a minute, I can do this. But that's when I was like, wait, if it's out here like out in the open, couldn't someone else in a Union Circle interact with it and then catch it for themselves? And I was so curious about that. That's why I never went back to it.
Can someone just steal my legendary?
Well, I was wondering about that because like if you didn't catch your legendary in like Scarlet, could we both like hop into your world and I can be the one to catch like Koraidon at that point, and then you hop into mine, you catch like Baridon because you already have them registered respectively as your ride Pokemon. The only downside is that you can't box them for any reason, but these other ones you can. I don't know.
Ooh.
So like obviously the benefits to it, just trading them, is because of the experience boost that you'll get each time, so you could level them up really quickly if you're not using candies. Yeah, no, you could. I was wondering, maybe you could just catch them like directly, and then they become actually yours. Not that there's any benefit to that, but you know, I don't know. I was so curious about that, and I kind of want to like explore that a little bit more. As kind of like a little quick little thing. Kind of a this is some needless information, but it's just something you could note that like, hey, someone else can actually catch that. Just like how people can catch each other's like shiny Pokemon if you see it.
So when you go to catch Miraidon, you want me to hop in just to see what happens?
Yeah, I kind of want to know what happens.
just for science.
For the sake of science, bro. I'm so curious as to like, and this is kind of like me kind of like shifting my mindset into like more of a TikTok thing where like I post content about Pokemon things. So it's like, this would be really cool science just to see if it works or not. Otherwise, it's no brainer just for me to catch it and then I trade it over. Yeah, that's what my mind was going at when like it came to that. Although, wait, if I were to hop into like, is that the same with the Paradox Pokemon? Like if I hop into like your Union Circle and we go to the Great Crater, would I be able to encounter like all of those Paradox Pokemon too?
Yeah, as long as you're in my world.
Ah, that's sick. Ah, that's hot. Although they're doing a pretty good they're doing a pretty good job just letting other people get other like version exclusives. They just had and it's currently happening right now, an event where you can catch Salamence or Tyranitar. Either or. And I was like, that's really cool. I think
2 pseudo legendaries.
I was currently raising a Salamence I caught for mine, even though Salamence is exclusive on my end. And I already have, I'm trying to raise this currently Pupitar into a Tyranitar. I got really lucky with that one.
I was going to say, did you have to say that Larvitar I gave you? Have you been taking care of it?
Yeah, it's chilling. It's straight chilling. It helped me a great deal because it was my way to see like, let me see if this works. So with the Perfect IV Charizard, it matches an A group with like the Tyranitar line, and I got really lucky. I got like a 5 IV one perfect. I was like, this is kind of crazy because usually like there's only 3 that get passed down like consistently, even with Destiny Knot. But in this case, like there's 5 of them. I'm like, that's sick. All right, let's build up on this one.
You used that Larvitar as a stallion.
Now I didn't say it like that. But yeah, no, I don't worry. That Tyranitar is chilling, super chilling, with all the children.
How many kids did my Larvitar have?
Enough.
Good God,
how many people? Enough. I don't remember. It's all contained in one box though, along with like Dratini's and I don't remember what the other one was.
I'm a grandfather.
Oh, Gibbles. Also Gibbles. I was trying to see which Pokemon could really be best used in raid battles, and unfortunately, not a lot of them are reliable as far as like them being self-sustaining. Azumaril's good. Iron Hands is really good.
Yeah, those two specifically.
Rhydon's really good. Essentially, anyone who can like self-restore their stuff.
Anyone who can heal themselves.
Anyone who can heal themselves. Possibly with the draining move.
Belly drum.
Belly drum, and then drain punch. You're good. You're absolutely set. Still currently building
the old razzle dazzle.
The old razzle dazzle. So there's definitely tiers as to that. Otherwise, you can still build mods for like competitive fights and whatnot. So that's always really interesting. Yeah, let's I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about currently as far as like the Pokemon. Let me see. I think I also had. Let's add this real quick. Little topics list in case I missed anything. Oh, I guess I really did talk about everything. Mark, have you actually tried out all the other Mario Kart 8 stuff, the deluxe stuff? I'm not sure if you've been dabbling in any of that.
Don't even have the game.
Oh wow.
I've told you this before.
Oh, you know, that went over my head, I guess.
Bruh.
Pokemon Go has Caldeon, right? Sorry, that's from Soul.
Yeah, it does.
Nice. I'm thinking about like, well, first of all, I need the exercise for one, and two, I am trying to like pull up Pokemon Go later today after podcast. We'll see how that plays out. I need to find out something that could work with me as far as like a schedule on that. But nice. I would say yeah, definitely get Caldeon ready for transfer because I don't think it's one of the transferable Pokemon, but it's just good to have anyway. I will say okay, some quick updates for the channel and everything. Shine Pearl's still going. TCG stuff is starting to become a thing, so be prepared for that. Gotta make some clips for that too. I'll talk about TikTok real quick. We're hitting 1K soon, so streaming over there is pending. We'll see. And then on Twitch, we still got God of War going. I at least want to finish that before anything else. And then talk really briefly about the Game Awards, aka Elden Ring and Ragnarok Awards. I feel so bad.
Yeah, it's actually what it was.
Yeah, they won a lot of rewards left and right, and they deserve it. But Rib Xenoblade Chronicles, Nice to Meet You, Plague Tales, and Who Let the Cat In?
Who let the cat in?
No, I think Stray deserves a spot there too. Honestly, like, it's so cute. That's all. That's all I can say. Like, it's the cat. Look at this cat.
Meow.
Look at this cat run for its life.
Meow.
And then, real quick highlight in as far as like shows and anime and whatnot. I think the new My Hero episode's out about Dobby's dance, and I was like, yes, this.
Oh boy, it's time.
That's great. I don't know why I've been holding off on watching the entirety of the anime. I think it's because like I'm stuck in this loop where it's like I used to want to post like reactions on YouTube, but now we don't really do that anymore, and it's just about me just catching up on it just like on personal time, and I just don't. But it's nice to see like highlighted moments here and there about the anime and some really cool stuff that we've seen in the past. So I'll have to get around to that. But instead of watching that, I decided to watch the latest Spy Family episode. I don't really talk about Spy Family these days because it feels like it's almost like a comfort like anime for me personally. But episode 23 was about tennis, and they animated that for they had no reason to just go in on the animation on that like that whole like match, and they did anyway, and it was sick. It was crazy. So they still pulling it off. It's crazy. And we did talk about Demon Slayer real quick as far as like the Swordsmith Village arc. That's premiering in April 2023. They got a whole theatrical release on that one, and it's gonna be like an hour special for that first episode. And I think also accompanying that will be like the prior 2 episodes of the Entertainment District arc. So
Just to really get that adrenaline pumping.
yeah, no, seriously, like those last 2 episodes were like crazy hype.
That's where all the budget went.
When I did my Spotify rap for the year, like that opening from Aimer was like that was my number 1. I kept listening to it over and over. But looks like next year is going to be literally all Sonic Frontiers soundtrack showing up. Say what you will, but I've been listening to what was it Undefeatable, like Breakthrough or something like that, and then of course something with flames. So I totally forgot what it was called. Like those 3 like vocal tracks and some other like cyberspace ones, they're high up there on my like all my listens. So that's also another thing that happened, was like the Frontier soundtrack is now available on pretty much all the major platforms as far as like listening to stuff. Apple Music, Spotify. I'm pretty sure Google Plays or Google's like side of things also works too. So definitely check that out. They have like a huge library over there. Albeit a lot of them are just like really quick tunes here and there. Some of them, dare I say, you could probably just add on to like as a ringtone. But yeah, no, definitely recommend checking that out too. Was there anything else? I don't know. Other than that, this past week has been pretty short for me. Everything's been good. Honestly, I'm just trying to like find things to like do content on. Definitely part of me's been like allocating some like focus on like getting some TCG stuff going. Say what you will, I unfortunately kind of got into that like space now, and my current objective is trying to complete like the standard like set of like Pokemon cards from Silver Tempest. If I get anything else, I'm gonna be inclined to go collect those too. As I did with Lost Origin. So I got a couple of packs to open like at some point like later on today or so. But yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no. It's pretty exciting to see that kind of stuff too. But yeah. Oddly enough, I've been like talking to my cousin a lot because of me recently getting into that kind of stuff. I've known my cousin for like a long period of time, but I think this is one of the first times like we've like really connected on something specifically, and it's not because like my brother's in the mix, because they usually hang out a lot back in the day. But now we're connecting a lot, so that's cool. But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much everything I got. We already hit the hour mark as well. Mark, is there anything else you wanted to add for things that happened this past week? Anything exciting?
The wedding was fantastic that I went to. That was a thing. That was pretty wild, but that's pretty much like the wildest thing I've gone through this week.
Did something in particular happen at the wedding, Mark?
Nah, all I can say is Pakistani people really know how to party.
Are you sure there's nothing else that may be in your banks of the memory that happened to you specifically?
Oh, I'm sure you mean me getting grabbed by the chin? Yeah, my friend and my wife's friend, it's our mutual friend who is getting married. She said, "Everyone get on the dance floor. Mark, you too." And I just sat there like, "Please no."
No.
She gave me a couple pushes on my shoulder, like boop, boop. I still wasn't moving. Then she just straight up just grabbed me on my chin. I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
She command grabbed at you like,
mother. She grabbed my chin and like shook me around a little bit. I was like,
you're like, how dare? And you proceed to start dancing. Man, dude. I get it though. I'm also not one to like really be like that open to dancing like that, but you know, if I could just shake my hips just a little bit and that's it, then I'm fine. I don't know how I feel if I get getting grabbed by the chin for it. You'll dance. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. It made it for a funny story. And about me and my wife were only up there for like a minute, so we said, "Woo, there we go." You didn't say for how long.
It's true. It's true. As long as you can hide like within the crowd, you'll be fine after that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh shoot, I think I remember there was something else. No, actually there's more Game Awards stuff that I would love to talk about, but we'll wait for Mark on that one. When he's oh sorry, not you, Mark, Phil, when he's more available. So alrighty then. That'll be it for us then. So yeah. I think I've already talked about it, but we're gonna have our little Game Award thing happen next Friday. So we'll still have our podcast for sure, but the Game Awards will be kind of a separate thing. So if you guys are around and available on Friday, somewhere in the evening Pacific time, we should have that down ready, and then we'll see how things how that matches up with whatever thing we're going to talk about on the following day for our podcast. So all right, then we'll go ahead and call it here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of DangIT Prodcast. It's episode 438. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And thanks for watching. #bye everybody. Oh.